Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. If you gotta go out, that's how you go out. That motherfucker took his destiny in his own hand. Hayman airing fights like Broner Pacquiao in the UK for free. Stay tuned. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Big up to the channel members as well. Now, this is some breaking news. I haven't heard a single person talk about it, and you know, I'm actually a couple days behind, but check it. Hayman, the Godfather, Godfather Al, has announced a deal where he's doing like has a UK broadcaster basically that he's paired up with to become an outlet in the UK to try to invade or take over the UK market, and that's called ITV. It's a channel for Americans who don't live in the UK. I guess you would say it would be comparable to Fox or NBC, something like that over there in the UK. It's called ITV. Now, it was widely reported that this deal had been reached, and the first fight that a lot of people thought would be on it as it relates to Premier Boxing Champs would be James DeGale versus Chris Eubank Jr., which is a solid fight, especially over there in the UK. Both fighters have names. James DeGale, he got gold, British gold at the Olympics, etc. Chris Eubank, his father, and comes from a fight family, etc. So that's not even the first fight. They are kicking off the year well. Now, shout out to my dude Terrence. I actually know somebody that works with ITV, right? And he's the one that kind of hit me to this and whatnot. So shout out to my dude T. And as you guys see on the screen, ITV's website, it says ITV announces free to air coverage of Pacquiao versus Broner, right? So, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone that celebrates. For the UK, it looks like Christmas has come early. Not only are they doing this UK deal, right? They're getting the Broner versus Pacquiao fight, and it's going to be free if you live in the UK. That is nuts right now. This in America, as you guys know, is going to be a pay-per-view. I haven't heard the actual price point that they intend to list it at, but based on the fact that it's Pacquiao and Broner, it'll be $65 to $80 for HD, and I would say $75 to $80, most likely. So this is really big news for Premier Boxing Champs, not only to have this deal with ITV, but also air in January Pacquiao-Broner. Now let's look at some of what it says. ITV has announced live coverage of 2 world title fights in January 2019 under its new deal with Hayman Sports Premier Boxing Champs. ITV announces free-to-air coverage of Pacquiao versus Broner, 2 world title fights to be shown free to air on ITV4 this January. So the 2 fights for January 13th, Jose Uzcategui versus Caleb Plant for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. As you guys know, Caleb Plant was already supposed to have the fight, but he developed a hand injury, and he's coming off of that. He didn't want any tune-ups, and he didn't want to lose his opportunity, so he's going straight away. Joey Spencer will also be on this card January 13th. I mean, that's a good fight. That's a very good super middleweight fight. David Benavidez will be back on the Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia card. Zurdo Ramirez said he might move up to 175. Canelo says he's flexible 160 to 168, right? You have a load of top quality guys at 168 right now. You got Caleb Smith. So this is going to be a who's who of the super middleweight, so we can see where everyone's at. And then the other free fight is January 19th, a week later, Manny Pacquiao. I believe my fight with Adrian Broner. for the WBA World Welterweight title. We know Keith Thurman has the real belt. I just did a roundtable with Keith Thurman out there in New York. I'm back home, and check that out. It'll be on the channel, shortly after seeing this video. But Pacquiao still has a version after he beat Lucas Matisse. It says ITV has announced live coverage of 2 world title fights in January under the new Hayman Sports PBC. The 2 major events to be shown free to air on ITV4 on consecutive weekends are the first under the new deal announced between ITV and PBC. Up first, January 13th, and it's kind of going over it. The fight's taking place at LA, Uzcategui versus Caleb Plant. The following weekend, Pacquiao-Broner, which also has the much anticipated light heavyweight showdown between Badu Jack and Marcus Brown. I think that's a really good fight. Hats off to Badu Jack. This man, he's not giving himself any type of rest. He's, fought Adonis, and I pray for Adonis. I heard he came out of his coma. I hope everything works out and he recovers. But he took a tough fight there. That was his second fight at light heavy. His first fight was a title fight with Nathan Cleverly. He fought James DeGale, really beat him, but they said it was a draw. So he's been definitely on fire, challenging himself. And it says the following week on ITV4, one of the biggest names, Manny Pacquiao steps up for the 70th fight of his career. See, Pacquiao's old school. That's crazy. He has 70 fights. Age 40, Pacquiao will take on a man more than a decade his junior, to defend the latest of his 11 world title belts that he's held over his career. Boxing Sport has been confirmed as the exclusive promoter of all UK PBC events on ITV. And this is what Richard Poxon said. This is an incredible opportunity for boxing and sports fans. On one hand, we have a giant of UK broadcasting on ITV, and on the other hand, a giant of the world in Premier Boxing Champs. I'm looking forward to promoting all the fantastic PBC events in the UK on ITV. The quality of these first 2 free-to-air events should show UK fans exactly what they can expect to see over the length of this new deal, and they can expect more news in the following days about the first PBC UK boxing event, which I think, again, is going to be Chris Eubank Jr. and James DeGale. Right? So I want to give my thoughts. There's more. You could check the link in the description. It says this unprecedented deal between PBC and ITV is great news for boxing fans in the UK. We look forward to bringing viewers big events and superb action from some of the world's best fighters in the coming years. And that's the director of ITV. Listen, Al Hayman is really out here playing chess. It's very evident. You look at the downfall of HBO boxing, not to toot my own horn, but I predicted it based on the commentary they were giving, the lack of budget and programming that they were known for that they stopped doing. And then they let Hayman, when Mayweather left, who was a Hayman fighter, Hayman advised fighter, that was the beginning of the end. He went to Showtime, that hurt him. And they didn't appreciate, HBO boxing did not appreciate Floyd when they had him, so he expanded his horizons, and Showtime offered him a ton of money, and then they started to come up from that point. Then Hayman took his whole stable, and HBO was left with like Top Rank and Golden Boy at the time. Top Rank stable is solid. Golden Boy, they really have Canelo and up and comers that they're trying to get to the level of a Canelo, but there's really no in between. It's either like the Virgil Ortiz, Ryan Garcia, Marlon Esparza, Joseph Jojo Diaz, in terms of fighters who are on the come up, trying to get the legendary names and resumes, or it's Canelo. The in between guys would be Jesus Soto Caras and Saddam Ali and Mauricio Herrera, David Lemieux, guys with some losses here and there, and not household names, or guys who command the type of charisma needed to carry a pay-per-view, as a main event by themselves, that type of thing. And it was the beginning of the end. And Top Rank left HBO, and it was a wrap. But like I said, Al Hayman's out here really playing checkers. You got Eddie Hearn, who made this big hoopla about how he was taking over the game and American promoters would be trembling and shaking in their boots, quaking when he hit town, and he was setting up shop, opening a New York office, and he had this thing called The Zone. And, you know, a lot of it at the moment has been wolf tickets, like with The Zone and the UK coming over to America for this huge American invasion, because they have yet to put on an event bigger than any of Al Haymon's biggest events, or bigger than even Top Rank's biggest events. You know what I'm saying? They haven't really done that. You know, Canelo versus Fielding, but that wasn't even an Eddie Hearn's brainchild. You know, that was, and a lot of people used the free trial, so I don't know how much money they really generated past the live gate with the Canelo fight. But Eddie Hearn's particularly, because he's the UK promoter and he's the one that said he's taken over. In my humble opinion, what Al Hayman is doing is a checkmate. He's showing the real power, because this is huge. I mean, look at it. The Zone, $10 a month, right? And in January, what are they giving American fans? Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Artur Akov, the guy that looks like Wolverine that lost to Billy Joe Saunders a couple of years ago, right? That's their main event, and they're doing it the week of this. Meanwhile, you have an American promoter who says that he's gonna do this new deal with the UK, so he's trying to conquer another market. And as you guys see on the screen, this is the fight that he's giving us, or giving the UK, I guess you could say. Pacquiao versus Broner. And the week before it, it's another title fight at super middleweight, you know. And I don't want to hear shit, you know. The UK fans, it's going to show an overt bias if you're good with cards like Joshua Povetkin and looking at that undercard, but you have gripes about getting Pacquiao versus Broner on a free UK network channel. You know, it's just, you're clearly against PBC or Al Hayman, or you want to see Eddie Hearns win or whatever, if you want to act like this is not a stronghold and this makes no sense and this is a bad fight, or you want to make it like Pacquiao is too old. Listen, there's a lot of people that feel 40-year-old Pacquiao beats, you know, a younger Broner. Some people think Broner is all wrong for Pacquiao because his youth and, you know, size and stuff. We're gonna find out, but this is incredible. And like I said, it's a way to bring in the new year. You know, just hearing the news is an early Christmas gift for the UK. This is you know, for a holiday, this is great news for you guys. Americans, we got to pay for this. You know, you guys get it for free. That's an incredible deal. You know, ITV, I could see them blowing up. Before ITV, they were putting like, I think it was Chris Eubank versus Reynold Quinlan, and I think they were doing it on pay-per-view. So I don't really know how that would have worked. You know, I don't know if that would have, like, broadband and like charging premium rates for fights like that. I don't know, but this was a boss move from ITV, and it's definitely a boss move from Al Hayman, Hayman LLC, Hayman Sport or whatever, and PBC. Because this, if you're gonna invade somewhere new, this is how you do it. Like I said, Frank Lucas, Blue Magic. Yeah, this is Blue Magic. It's a name brand, and I guarantee it. It's like Pepsi. You know, this is that Blue Magic. If you're trying to take over somebody's block, this is the type of boss move that you do. And it clearly goes to show you a level of confidence and power and strategic planning in terms of their invasion. The DAZN invasion has been a little bit scatterbrained to me. You know, you're charging $10 a month and you're trying to string together these cards that haven't really been impressive. And the selling point is, oh, at least you didn't have to pay $80 for Canelo to fight Rocky Fielding. Yeah, but Canelo versus Rocky Fielding was not really requested from anybody. Nobody really directly said they wanted that fight. So yeah, we don't have to pay $80, but at the same time, you couldn't have charged $80 and expected that event to be successful. You know, at least for the buy rates on pay-per-view. You know, I would have loved to see, if Canelo stayed with HBO or they weren't going out of business, put Rocky Fielding on pay-per-view and see how many buys it does. Nobody really asked for that fight. It was really what it was. It was a stay busy, you know, why should I lose extra weight? And I know I could easily beat this guy. You know, he's very limited, and I could be a 3-division weight champion, you know, because there's too many belts in boxing. That's no more, no less. That's what it is. But meanwhile, you got back-to-back weekends to start off the new year, and Hayman is putting up great cards, you know, independently, and he's making them available for free. Boss shit, legendary. Let me know what you guys think of this crazy news. Shout out to the UK, shout out to Haymon and PBC, Pacquiao-Broner. You know, I think as the fight week gears up, they're also doing a Showtime All Access for this, so a little bit. It should be on YouTube, maybe not the day it airs, but you know, it'll be a proper build up. So UK fans, you have something to look forward to. I also think Jose Uzcategui, Caleb Plant is going to be a good fight. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.